from WBNE.
Howdy, yokes. Before we get started today, I want to let you know that this episode of Bacon and Eggs contains spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home and Hawkeye through episode 5. If you have not seen either of those things, do not listen to this episode. You can also safely assume that if there's any MCU content you haven't seen already, there are spoilers for it in this episode. So if you don't want to listen to that, totally fine. Go watch Hawkeye, go see Spider-Man, and come back and hang out with us. But where this is going to be a full spoiler review. Okay? All right. Also, if you want to support the show, check out patreon.com/baconandeggs. Let's get on with it. Howdy, yokes, and welcome back to Bacon and Eggs. I'm Tyler Carlin.
And I'm Ethan Edgehill.
And today we're saving the multiverse.
Or maybe we're just talking to ourselves.
So hire a lawyer.
Crash Fandango.
Because today we're bringing you
Spider-Man No Way Home. You know what, Tyler? Screw the stats. Well, don't screw the stats. But I want to let's go ahead and knock it out of the park. This is a 100%er.
This is so good.
This is a 100%er.
And I've got a laundry list. Why do we call it a laundry list?
I don't know.
I don't ever write out a list of my laundry. I'm not like, okay, first I will do darks, then transition to whites, then air dry, which I'm going to tell you right now, this is not a how to do laundry podcast. The key to laundry, I learned it this week. Smaller loads. Because the worst part of laundry, folding it. Smaller loads through and through. There's less to fold. Spider-Man No Way Home, directed by John Watts, came out on December 17th, 2001, which was 1 day ago. $200 million budget. So far, this is a Saturday that we're recording this. Came out Thursday previews, Friday release. 93.3... It is Saturday, right? Yeah. $93.3 million at the box office, 94% critic rating, 99% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 72 on Metacritic. 100% are from the boys at Bacon and Eggs. Do you have a negative professional review?
I have a negative review from somebody who stylizes himself as a professional, but I wouldn't call this a professional review.
Bilge Abiri from New York Magazine?
And I'm going to read Bill Jabiri from New York Magazine because this is just such a stupid statement. While the previous Holland films have been mediocre in modest ways, No Way Home feels downright aggressive in its mediocrity. And I said compared to what?
Yeah, I also think Bilge here does right for Vulture. And so think about it. If you're looking back at the pantheon of Spider-Man films and you're like, well, I think, there's 3 excellent villains who have been portrayed over the years. You've got Alfred Molina, goes without say. Willem Dafoe goes without say. But Vulture was really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
he
they
didn't
left
get to come
him
back
out
in this movie.
No. He's busy being in Morbius. But okay, I got a positive review here from let's see, Helen O'Hara from Time Out. Spider-Man is always best on the back foot.
Time Out is a British publication.
I was gonna ask, but then I was like, he thinks I should know, so I'm just not gonna do it. Spider-Man is always best on the back foot, and this film puts him thoroughly through the ringer. But it also gives him room to shine and packs an emotional punch that could floor any of his villains.
This movie could have, and probably should have, sucked so bad.
Yes, and I'll tell you why. One, Tobey Maguire is old.
Yeah, he got old. Andrew Garfield got old, honestly.
Andrew Garfield does not look 17. And I like that they did the Peter B. Parker thing with both of them.
Yeah.
Instead of making them like... Like I was already scrolling and I saw an article that was like, there's a major plot hole in Spider-Man No Way Home. And I didn't have to read the article to be like, to understand like, how is Tobey's first villain alive if Tobey is like 40 years old and still Spider-Man? I don't need to read that article because they broke the multiverse. That's how. That's how he's still alive. My understanding is that they all came in the moment they were dying.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. But I think more impressive than Willem Dafoe and Alfred Molina, who have amazing performances in this and really recontextualize their characters and give life to the characters that they played in the original trilogy. More impressive than that is Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Because Jamie Foxx played a
Yeah. Jamie Foxx was awful in the first. Not and again, like that was not his fault. Jamie Foxx is like an Oscar award winning actor.
Yeah,
like,
no, it was probably a bad script, bad direction, bad something.
Yeah, those movies just weren't great.
Yeah. And I think Andrew Garfield comes in and I thought he was fantastic.
Everybody. This movie was perfect. Like
movie
I have no complaints. I have no complaints. When they first showed up, like, and I was like, oh, we're gonna get a battle with all the villains right here on this bridge. And I was like, okay, this is gonna be stupid. And then they're gonna
do
do
a slog. I'm gonna have to do one at a time.
Yeah, they're gonna do the whole boss rush thing, and then there will be some kind of issue, right?
Yeah.
But then when the second the Green Goblin shows up and they like whip back to the Sanctum Sanctorum, and it went dead silent for a minute, and a kid 5 rows in front of me goes, "What the heck?" I was like, "We got ourselves a movie here, fellas. This is a film. They're doing something.
There's something going on here.
There's something going on here, yeah." No, I mean, this is like, because we've had 2 previous Spider-Man franchises that ended pretty lacklusterly, right? Like,
yeah. And this was I obviously gave Tobey and Andrew the ending they deserved.
And that's the thing, is like, it gave everybody the kind of ending they deserved, right? Like, it gave Spider-Man as a whole. Like, this is Avengers Endgame for Spider-Man, the concept.
Yes. I also love how Sony was like, that Into the Spider-Verse movie that we made was pretty good. I think we could do better. I don't know that they did, but
I mean, they're inexorably linked now, right? Like, those 3 will be in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2. They gotta be.
Yes.
They have to be. Otherwise, because Andrew Garfield and Jamie Foxx having the conversation about Black Spider-Man.
So I think let's talk behind the scenes real quick, because we're kind of all over the place. Behind the scenes, Kevin Feige has come out and said anything is possible moving forward.
Yeah.
If you see Charlie Cox, or if you see Daredevil, it'll be Charlie Cox. If you see D'Onofrio, it will be Wilson Fisk.
Now, that being said, real quick timeout. Neither of us have seen Hawkeye episode 5 yet.
No, but are you aware of the spoiler in that episode?
No.
Okay, then I won't tell you.
No. Is it that Vincent D'Onofrio's in it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I was right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
okay.
we were right about that one. Also, Marvel playing it real close to the chest, being like, we're going to schedule an entire year of films out such that Spider-Man No Way Home and Hawkeye Episode 5 are 1 day apart.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Especially since they messed it up so bad with WandaVision and Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Yeah, because that could have lined up much better.
Yeah.
Did you stay for the Multiverse of Madness trailer?
Yeah, which is stupid, but whatever.
They did the same thing at the end of, I think it was Captain America, the first Avenger.
Yeah, but that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know, and I feel like
if you're going to make me stay till the end of the movie, like past the millions and millions of credits, past the ad for the existence of Georgia, like, you got to give me a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Not a trailer.
You also don't have to give me so I like that they're putting Tom Hardy in the mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're all they're really doing is introducing Symbiote to
Earth 616 or whatever.
To Marvel Earth, MCU Earth. And football is life.
Danny Rojas.
Football is life.
I was like, I looked at Kate, I was like, is that Danny Rojas?
He's showing up everywhere.
know.
What I would argue is like one of the worst performances in Ted Lasso.
Yeah, absolutely. But like intentionally so.
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think they were like, we're going to get somebody in there who...
God, when he goes to the
It's a
funeral and
joke.
can't wear the shoes.
Oh, heartbreaking.
I have no complaints about this movie at all.
No, there's...
Did you cry? I cried.
Oh, I cried. I cried a
cried.
lot. I cried.
I didn't cry a lot. I cried very, like, aggressively twice.
So there was two...
Maybe, no,
I think-
three times.
I think when you sit down with Kevin Feige and the leaders at Sony, Kevin Feige says, listen, you got two options for when you can release this movie. It can line up with Hawkeye Episode 5, or it can line up with Captain America, or Falcon and the Winter Soldier Episode 4. Those are your two options. I don't care which one you pick. Because there's that moment right at the end where Toby stops Peter from doing the John Walker thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's powerful. And now you've repeated that moment. That's so good.
Tony, hold on. Tony stops Peter from
Toby.
doing... Toby stops Tom from
Tom.
doing the Captain America, or the John Walker thing on top of the Captain America shield.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're standing on top of the giant bronze Captain America shield.
Yeah. And there's that scene where Doctor Strange is closing the multiverse from the torch on the...
Yeah, the torch
On
of
the
the Statue of
Statue of
Liberty.
That's
that
so
wasn't
cool.
visible 10 minutes prior because there was a Captain America shield on the Statue of Liberty.
Anyway, so I want to get back to what I was saying behind the
Yeah.
scenes. Kevin Feige says anything is possible. Leadership at Sony says anything is possible. I think what Kevin Feige is alluding to here is multiverse mashups beyond what anyone is expecting. Like, you gotta... Anything you think is off the table is on the table now. Christian Bale's Batman in the MCU, on the table. Michael Keaton's Batman meeting Michael Keaton's Vulture, on the table.
On the table.
It's there. It's like, I think basically what happens is Kevin Feige goes to leadership at DC and he's like, listen, guys, I need real competition. Why don't I give you a boost?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, please.
Or Disney's also about to buy Warner Brothers.
I don't
Whole
think,
hog purchase Warner Brothers.
I don't think Disney will buy Warner Brothers.
No, I
don't
think
know.
I think at that point you would get the government involved.
There are bigger trusts that the government hasn't broken up.
Yeah, but not in media.
Yeah.
Because I think at that point they would own ABC and NBC.
Yes. But they wouldn't own Fox or CNN.
They do own Fox.
They do?
Yeah.
Huh. No, they own Fox Searchlight. They don't own Fox the network.
That's this, I believe, the same company.
No. I mean, they're like, I think they were founded by the same people, but they're not the same company. Tucker Carlson doesn't get checks from Disney.
I don't know. They don't just own Fox Searchlight either.
I don't know. I don't know.
They
how it
own
all
like
works out.
20th Century Fox.
Correct. But
Fox
that
Searchlight
a,
is the smallest branch.
that is a movie studio, not the news channel. Anyway, nothing is off the table at this point.
Nothing is off the table.
If you think Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter is going to show up in the MCU, why not?
Well, that probably won't happen.
That probably won't, because that is Warner Brothers' like biggest chip, right?
Yeah. Daniel Radcliffe also not yet old enough to play Harry Potter in the correct timeline.
I think you could. I mean, Willem Dafoe came back, right? Like,
Yeah, but Harry Potter's not dead.
he died that one time. Imagine that retcon.
Instead of at the train station, Harry Potter just shows up in New York.
Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn.
There was-
is just like,
wanna-
hey, what?
I want to tell you the truth. There's a moment in this movie where they talk about the Mets. Like 10 people around me were like, "It's all about the Mets, baby. Go Mets. Go get a home run."
Go Mets. I thought that was the moment where Vincent D'Onofrio was going to walk out and just be like, It's not always
Not
about
always
the money,
about the money,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. I would say I wouldn't call this a complaint, but I would say a cop out was Sandman. I didn't feel like we got enough of Sandman's face.
Yeah, he was in Spider-Man 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've seen that movie once, and so when he showed up, I was like, I don't remember anything about you.
That's crazy, because I don't remember anything about Lizard, because that was the Amazing Spider-Man 1, right?
Amazing Spider-Man 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Kurt Connors, man.
Nothing. Even when the actor showed up, I was like, maybe I'll recognize him. Nope.
He was Richard Parker's partner.
Yeah.
Dr. Connors.
Sure. Am I supposed to know who that is?
Yeah, he's Dr. Connors. The amount of just because they made these movies so many times, the amount of pervasiveness that the Spider-Man villains have in like Spider-Man has, I would say, except for Batman, the most complete like set of villains tied to him that they've actually used on screen.
And I would say they're among the most recognizable. Like,
yeah,
I think there's no villain more iconic than the Joker. I think that's fair to say.
yeah.
But like, I would put Green Goblin on the same level as Penguin.
Oh, I would put him above Penguin.
You think?
Yeah, Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin is more in the lexicon than Danny DeVito is the Penguin.
Yeah. And like Doc Ock at this point, because now you've had 3 good Doc Ocks.
Yeah.
You've had Spider-Man and PS4 Doc Ock, who was amazing. That was did you cry playing that game?
Yeah.
I got a little emotional.
And then you got Spider-Verse Doc Ock. And
Doc
you've got
Ock, who's amazing. And then you have Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina. So moments I cried, obviously, when May died and she said the line.
Ha ha!
And I cried when Tom started the line and Toby finished it.
And when Andrew saved MJ.
When Andrew saved MJ and gets her down to the ground. Got
what a redemption.
Me good.
So I knew it was coming. Every gratuitous thing that they could do, they did.
When Tobey Maguire's looking at Andrew Garfield and he's like, hey, stop talking about stuff like that. You're amazing. You're amazing. I was like, that is the funniest thing you've ever said, Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. I have a newfound respect for the dude. I really do. Like, I've always liked the Raimi trilogy a lot. It's always been close to the heart.
Sure.
But I think for a long time I've been pretty cold on Tobey. But then as I was watching it, I was like, I need to go into Audible and just search Tobey Maguire's name and listen to anything he will read me.
Yeah, he's such a good narrator, right? Because he makes The Great Gatsby what it is. God, when Andrew Garfield says that line about like, what, are you just going to say the world dressed like a cool youth pastor, or do you have your shirt? And he pulls it. And he just goes, just pulls the collar down a little bit.
Yeah.
He's like,
I will say,
I always got the suit.
I think on set, Toby, Andrew, and Tom sat down, because if you remember the press tour for Spider-Man, what was the first one? Homecoming?
Yeah.
Or even, I think it was Civil War, Tom Holland was like, I'll play Spider-Man forever. I want to be doing this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the press tour for this one, he was like, I don't know how much longer I'll play Spider-Man. And then he only signed a contract for 3 films, which sounds like a lot, but it's not 3 Spider-Man movies.
No, it's like 3 appearances.
3 appearances, which is like, oh, you're almost like done. Like, Benedict Wong signs these contracts 10 movies at a time. That dude shows up in everything.
And I don't think Tom Holland is almost done. I think that will only be in 3 movies for the next couple of years because nobody in the world remembers who he is.
Correct.
It's like we're gonna have to get a little bit of that going.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that out.
Like they can't unsnap that in whatever the next movie is. In Captain Marvel 2.
I wouldn't call this a plot hole. I will say,
if Carol Danvers is the only person that remembers who Peter Parker is, I'll lose my mind.
Why would Carol remember?
I don't know, just because she has that like, "Hey, Peter Parker" line, and she's like, she's off-world and whatever. Like,
Yeah.
if she was like, "Oh, I was outside of the universe when that spell happened."
Or if the Skrulls know who he is, I think there's an opportunity there. I don't know if they like apply to the same rules.
Yeah. Ben Mendelsohn shows up just like, "Oh, hey, look, it's Peter Parker." And he's like, "What the?"
Fuck? How did you? And then he's like, "My name is Krennic."
I am Nolan Sorrento.
Whoa! No way!
No way.
What a crossover!
Spider-Man, he can finally go home now, directed by Steven Spielberg.
When he opens that apartment door at the end, I thought it was going to be Toby's apartment.
I did too.
I was a little sad when it wasn't.
You'll get the rent when you fix this damn light bulb. Whatever he says.
Yeah. What are we saying? Yeah, so to Toby, 3 more movies. Which, by the way, I do want to... Benedict Wong, I think, has been in every MCU project. Since Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's the Sorcerer Supreme now.
He is the Sorcerer Supreme, which I thought that was like that's not a throwaway line. That's a big deal.
Oh, nothing's a throwaway line in this movie, right? Because of the multiverse thing. Like, this movie was handcrafted.
Yeah.
Like, we will be going back to this one
a lot.
Right. Like Riley Murtaugh needs to just keep that one on the hard drive for all of your brother's videos forever.
Yeah.
They'll just keep going back to and this poster of a cat in the background.
There's a lot of Rogers the Musical posters.
Well, I mean, it's a smash hit.
Can you imagine if...
It also takes place at the same Christmas, so like Rogers is just about to come out.
Yes. Can you imagine if Tom Holland was on screen with Haley Steinfeld?
I mean, it'll probably happen.
Poor Zendaya. You had a good run.
Honestly, she was so good in this movie.
She was so good, and it was so funny there at the end when they're like trying to do the thing where they don't know each other, but they're like dating in real life, and their chemistry is so freaking magical. And it's like, you can't convince me for 1 second, Zendaya, that you don't know who Tom Holland is.
That being said, when she's like, "Hey, can I get you anything?" I was just like, "Oh man, it worked. It like really worked."
Yeah. I thought, so there was a very intentional shot of him shoving the note in his back pocket.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe they were going to come back to that, like he's pulling his wallet out and it fell out and she found it or something, and that would be like a little like, "Ooh, what's to come next?"
Nope. At the moment, he is just letting everybody get along with their lives.
Yeah.
We're going to have some like It's a Wonderful Web movie where like...
Stop!
Where the world is not better off without Peter Parker.
Without people knowing who Peter Parker is, yeah. Oh, God, It's a Wonderful Web.
And J. Jonah Jameson being like, "Look, any man who doesn't come out as Spider-Man is a coward." I was like, oh, wow, it really worked.
Yeah.
I was hoping that, and this was the truly gratuitous fan service moment that I was hoping for, is that we would get a J. Jonah Jameson from all 3 universes and that they would do the point at each other thing.
Oh, that would have been good. But no.
No.
And even Toby didn't say anything like, "Oh, that's J. Jonah Jameson."
I know. I'm surprised that him and Andrew weren't just like, "This fucking guy."
Well,
this guy
he wasn't
right?
J. Jonah Jameson in Amazing Spider-Man. It was somebody else.
Was it? I didn't know there was a J. Jonah Jameson in Amazing Spider-Man. It's been a minute.
I've seen those movies once, and I will rewatch them now because
they matter now.
Because they matter now.
They've been Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I care about Boba Fett now. I watched Empire Strikes Back, and I'm like, "No, Boba, don't go to the Starlight Pit, you fool.
You fool, what are you doing?
You fool."
God. Boba Fett.
But yeah, like,
excited for Book of Boba Fett.
This movie didn't suck, right? When they first announced the name Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, I remember like my whole body eye rolled. Yes. I was just like, "Ari, ugh." Are you kidding me? And
I have to do this.
They did the trailer for this one, and I was like, oh no, they're gonna ruin the whole thing, and they just didn't.
And they just didn't. And I think as long as they keep doing it right,
Yeah.
we got to stop expecting them to have a full on miss. Like, listen, if you didn't like Eternals, whatever.
Well, I mean, it's not that I'm expecting them to have full on miss. It's just like I'm so cautious.
I'll tell you
still,
one
right?
thing.
Like,
They have cemented this is not the Infinity Saga.
yes,
This
Yes.
is different now.
this is different. It is more. It is also less.
Yes. This movie felt surprisingly intimate.
Yeah. I think though that all three of the Holland Spider-Man movies have managed to do that.
Yes.
Because he and I think it's interesting, right? Because he has his big moments in the Avengers movies and Civil War, and then like just goes back to New York and just fights crime.
Amazing Spider-Man. This is
Just
crime in Boston, right?
amazingly fights crime.
Yeah, hella crime.
Just regular crime. And he's like, I get Spider-Man in Boston. They have crime in Boston, right? And Ned's like, yeah, wicked crime.
Yeah. I think MJ got into MIT the first time.
Yeah?
I do.
Interesting.
I think she opened her letter and saw on Peter's face that he didn't.
I don't think she did because college acceptances come in big envelopes.
Big envelopes, yeah.
Big envelopes, like a welcome packet. Also, college acceptances, from what I understand now, don't come in letters at all. And
It's a email to
It's-
your
yeah, it's like
inbox.
yeah, you got to like log into the portal.
Yeah, like your Gmail port. You like open it on Gmail and then log into like the university portal for which you don't have an ID number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember your college ID number?
00726526.
0071171.
Wow, that's easy. It's all
Yeah.
sevens and ones.
Yeah, it's just two numbers.
It's just two numbers. Man, imagine if Social Security numbers like that.
It is.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
It's 7717171.
Oh yeah, see,
Five.
it's kind of tough, isn't it?
It's tough to count
Where's Pickles?
in the other room.
Go get him.
Go get him.
Go get him.
We want to see too.
What were you waiting by the?
I hit you. Where's the dog?
Where's the dog?
All right,
Go get the dog.
I'll go get him. It's kind of a chore to get out of this room right now, though. Because
I don't care.
I'm
not
just
asking
telling you.
for excuses.
I'm just telling you.
He said it's a chore to get out of that room right now.
Too bad. Look who's here to see the dog.
Where did you put him?
He's right here.
He's like on the desk?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Say hi, puppy.
Here, squeak into the microphone, Pickles.
She said hold.
Does he bark?
A little bit. He's barked a couple times. Little tiny puppy
Little bit.
barks.
Oh,
He makes a lot of
my
squeaks.
Do you want to see the puppy?
He's very squeaky.
You want to hold the puppy?
So precious. Do we need to bring him over later?
You want to hold the puppy?
Yes.
This is please, and she said please. You want to hold the
Want to
puppy?
hold the puppy?
He is the most precious being.
She keeps reaching her hands out to hold the puppy.
We'll have the puppy over later.
Really?
Yeah.
To our house?
Can
Potentially.
you bring the puppy here?
I don't know. That's up to Kate.
Okay.
What do you say?
He said it's up to Kate.
Is that a puppy?
Yeah, this is the guy. This is little pickle guy.
Say hi,
Say hi,
Uncle.
puppy.
Say hi, Uncle Ethan.
She's ready for a nap.
Ready to go take a nap and then we can see the puppy? Yes? Okay. Say bye-bye, Dada.
Yeah, this
That is a cute
my little
freaking
guy.
dog. Oh my god.
He weighs nothing.
Nish.
Yeah, he's so small and squishy.
I have like no. Every picture I see, he's a different size.
Yeah,
I can't
absolutely.
quite grasp how small or large he is.
I mean, he's long. He's
He's
got a long
about yay
wheelbase.
big.
Got a long wheelbase. Yeah, he's about yay big. He's, I don't know, when he curls up, he sits right here on my forearm.
Oh.
Yeah, he weighs literally nothing. He's made of bird bones and magic.
He's gonna get heavy.
Oh, for sure.
There's Korgos, they're bigger than you think.
Oh, yeah. This is my guy. He's extremely soft.
Yeah.
He's got little floppy ears.
He's so freaking cute.
He has not yet gotten the hang of outside.
Was he in Spider-Man No Way Home?
He was not a Spider-Man No Way Home. He was not born yet when they finished it.
It's the only one. How bad do you feel for Toby and Andrew that, like, for a year, people were like, are you in the freaking movie? Which, like, one, hindsight, obviously they were in the movie.
Yeah,
Like,
obviously.
that's how I felt even watching the press tour. I was like, they're gonna be in this. Even, like, the trailers and stuff. I was like, you're gonna put Alfred Molina in
right,
there,
you
and you're
can't
not
have
gonna put
Alfred Molina
Daredevil-
and Willem Dafoe without both of them, right? Like, and they left
Right.
it pretty darn late in the movie.
Yeah, but, like, every time somebody showed up, my theater erupted.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was almost surprised that, well, I was surprised that Miles Morales was in it. And I thought it was a cheap shot for Jamie Foxx to be like, thought she would have been black. And Miles Morales to not, like, make an appearance.
Yeah.
I was like, ugh.
No, I truly think that the three of them are going to be in Spider-Verse 2.
That's fine, but you don't, like, listen, you've already committed too much, Kevin. You've given me more than I ever could have asked for. But you haven't cemented that relationship until you put in
I think,
Mahershala Ali as Predator or Prowler or whatever.
yeah. I mean, no.
Isn't he who voiced him
Oh, in
in Spider-Verse?
is it?
I think so.
Oh, Mahershala Ali is Blade.
Is Blade.
Is the
Yeah,
problem.
I know.
Also, you have
But is it a problem?
You have an Aaron Davis. It's
Well, he's not. He hasn't been on screen, but it's Gambino's nephew. No, Gambino is Aaron.
yeah,
Davis.
Gambino is Aaron
Yeah.
Davis. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem is Shamik Moore isn't Miles
tall.
Morales. Is
Yeah,
is a
he's
huge dude.
Yeah. Miles Morales is like itty bitty.
Yeah, it'd be wild if Miles Morales was just like, "What's up? I'm Spider-Man."
I'm
Shamik
6'5".
Moore
But
was
they
just
did
like-
that with Wolverine, and like it was like, yep, that's what Wolverine is now.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, but like Wolverine being small doesn't matter. Nobody knew that, right? That wasn't.
I think people knew that. Anybody that played like X-Men knew that on the Sega Genesis. Anybody who read comics knew that. Granted, comic book readers, I keep ending up on like, this is what's different about these characters from the comics and the movies videos.
Yeah,
And like, I don't care. I want to care. I want to read these stories. They sound very interesting. But they always present them in such a way like, if you think Shang-Chi is interesting in the movie, you've got no idea.
yeah,
And it's like, you're approaching this the wrong
the
way.
complete wrong way.
Right. It's like, if you want to know why he's so interesting in the movie, check out this amazing source material.
Right.
That, I think, is a better approach.
The best approach would be, here are the comics that they pulled inspiration for the movie from.
Yeah.
Here is where you can read that story.
Yeah. It's a little bit different, but every single time it's like you get in and it's like, oh yeah, the Shang-Chi one is what threw me off. He was like, yeah, I learned every assassination method in 7 years. And the comic version was like, really? Well, I spent 59 years in a dungeon in Sri Lanka learning it. It's like, shut up. You're not better than me, man.
Yeah,
Simu Liu.
so good.
He bought a house on Selling Sunset. I mean, come on.
What?
There's a Netflix show called Selling Sunset. It's like the Real Housewives of Orange County, but they're realtors.
Are we scrolling
And
now? bud?
one of their clients was Simu Liu.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. Good time. Do you want to see? Hey, check this out. Check out my new outfit. I know you're like, hey, Tyler, nice sweatshirt. And listen, I'm with you. But check this out. It goes further. Look at this. You're like,
Oh, man.
matching pants? Actually, matching shorts.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. And I know you're like,
Look at you.
there. What's that? I'll tell you what it is, Ethan. It's a puppy on the back.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
Thank you. I thought you'd appreciate this.
Was that an anniversary gift?
That was your 4th anniversary is your paper anniversary. So the way we celebrated that was opening all of our Christmas gifts because they were wrapped in paper.
I thought first was paper.
No. 4th is paper.
Are we sure it's not 5th?
Let's look it up.
I feel like every year is paper until it's like gold.
3rd is leather.
Leather?
Oh, you're right. 4th is fruit or flowers. Whoops. We goofed. 1st is paper. 2nd is cotton. 3rd is leather. 4th is fruit or flowers. 5th is wood. 6th gets a little weird. Candy or iron. 7th, which is going to be, I think that's an easy one. You get gummy vitamins for iron.
Like the iron supplement as gummy vitamins?
Yeah, I think that's,
As
think
Vitacraves?
Yeah. That is the cutest freaking dog in the world. This is the most distracting thing I've ever seen.
I know. I'm going to go give him back to Kate because he's getting
Okay.
squirmy.
He's so freaking cute. Has he peed on you yet?
No, he has not peed on me. He has peed on the floor twice, but
Good boy.
yeah, he has not mastered outside yet.
Well, I do. It's not easy. I'll tell you that.
No,
much.
not just like the potty training part. Like he won't pee outside. Like even when we take him outside, he's just like, I don't like this.
It's just, the grass is very
I
tall.
don't like it. Yeah,
and pointy.
yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, say bye, Pickles.
Bye, Pickles.
Say bye, Pickles.
His
I am
paws are still
drowning.
pink.
There is no sign of land. I know his toe beans are pink. Okay. I gotta take my headphones off.
Bye, Pickles.
God, your breath smells.
Spider-Man. I found myself being like, why didn't they include such and such character? As though this wasn't full of so many cool
and that's
characters.
the thing is, every time they do one of these movies, I'm like, oh, weird. You know,
Hulk wasn't in Civil War. What's that about?
Hulk and Thor were in Civil War. They were busy.
They were in Sakaar.
Team Thor.
Yeah. With Taika Waititi.
Yeah. Yeah, this thing is like I don't even know who else I would have wanted in it. I did think though that they were going to bring James Franco back.
I thought James Franco may show up because he'd totally do it. I also thought there may be a more explicit Spider-Man PS4 reference. Although they did right at the end, right? Like he puts the new suit on and that's the new suit sequence from Spider-Man PS4, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
almost to a T.
Yeah.
He sews his own suit for the first time. We got poor Peter for the first time. So good.
What was I saying? Yeah,
I thought Ned and MJ were both going to die.
Did you?
I did. When they took May, I was like, that hurt a lot.
Yeah, I can't believe they did that, honestly.
And Marissa Tomei on the press tour was so... She did not hint at it at all.
Nope.
She was doing videos being like, yeah, I mean, she had a thing with Happy. Maybe she'll have a thing with Ant-Man. Like, what?
Although that's got to be honestly easier. Like if you know you're going to die at the end of the movie, it has to be easier to just make stuff up.
Right, just lie.
Yeah, to just flat out lie.
Yeah.
But because like people, if you die, nobody's going to be disappointed that she didn't have a thing with Ant-Man, right? Like
Right.
nobody's
Also,
going to go
when
back
she
to the
said
press
that-
tour.
When she said that, I was like, you just don't know anything about the MCU. Like, you just show up and do your job for these Sony movies. You don't, like... Ant-Man is the only character to be, like, named with his significant other in the title.
Yeah, that's true.
Like...
Hope Van Dyne.
Evangeline Lilly. It's upsetting when she's not in movies.
Okay,
Any
you can't
movie
have
I
every
see.
actress in every movie. Like there can't just every MCU movie doesn't have to cut back to a scene of like Florence Pugh and Haley Steinfeld and Evangeline Lilly at a bar together,
Could you imagine
looking
if
straight
every
down the
MCU
camera and
movie-
going, "Hello, Tyler."
hello? I was in Lost.
I was in Lost.
Can you imagine if that's how every MCU started? Was those three women sitting at a McLaren's pub, being
Talking
like
about their other roles.
right? No, just talking about like that's the movie. It's like them telling each other stories at the bar, being
Yeah.
like, "Did you hear about the time Peter got into a tizzy with other Peters?
Oh my God,
Let me
yeah.
tell you all about it."
Stage not stage. What phase is the word we use. Phase 5 is just gonna be every story told by. Honestly, at the end of the movie when he was at the graveyard, I looked over at Kate and I was like, I swear to God, if Valentina shows up right now, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Oh yeah, no, that would have messed me up big time.
But Happy showing up, honestly, that was such a great.
It's weird that they they don't know Peter at all, but they do
They know Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's how Toby started. Nobody knew him.
Except for all of his friends at school and his aunt and uncle
Yeah.
and
Norman.
yeah.
Also, so anyway, this is what I wanted to say. Press tour on set. I think this is going back a while now, where I was talking about like Tom being like, I want to do this until I die. And then after this one, only signing a contract for 3 movies. I think what happened was they were on set and Alfred Molina and Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were sitting there talking to Tom Holland. And we're like, listen, man, I'm going to give you some advice. Your most valuable asset, if you didn't know, is that Tom Holland face, baby boy.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a little discussion with John Watts. Ain't nobody wearing a mask in this movie unless they absolutely have to.
Yeah.
Nobody wearing a mask. What? Here's what we'll tell them. How are they going to know who's who? Shut up. Ain't nobody wearing it. You want that Tom Holland pretty boy face on the camera as much as possible.
When they all put the masks on and swung around the side of the Statue of Liberty as a team for the first time, I was like, "Oh man,
That's good
that's
stuff.
a cool scene."
Yeah. There was, before Tom and Andrew, no, Tom was in it. Before Toby and Andrew showed up, the scene where Willem Dafoe is fighting them and he's, he just turned and he's whooping. They really show that like Tom is the weakest Spider-Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like he has relied on technology and the help of others
Absolutely.
a lot.
Yeah. But he's been on a team before.
But he's been on a team before, so he has that advantage. But while they were doing that, I swear they digitally altered his face to like look like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire at certain parts.
Yeah.
Because there were times where he would be punching him, and I'll be like, he's not punching Tom Holland. I swear they did.
Yeah,
If you watch
and I
again-
thought they were going to do something like that because when Doctor Strange pushes his body out of him, and I don't think we've seen the end of this, but when Doctor Strange pushes his body out of him, his soul out of him, he still has control of his body.
I think that was a spider sense. I think that was like, that's the level of instinct that
Oh,
or
so
that-
yeah. I thought
Peter
that was how
Parker
we were
has.
going to get, the other Spider's Man, is that they were going to inhabit the body, right? Like you push Tom out, and like Toby fills in the space.
Oh. I don't know. He was good.
I don't feel like
Tobey
we've seen the end
Maguire
of that.
showing up.
I don't feel like we've seen the end of that.
God, that was a good movie.
When Andrew Garfield shows up for the first time, man, that was a good scene. When he like hops out and it's
Yeah.
like, and pulls off the mask, and it's just like, "Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Peter Parker, and what can I do for you?" They're like, "What?
You're not Peter.
You're not Peter Parker."
Ned's a sorcerer?
Yeah, Ned's a sorcerer. That's gonna have to be dealt with.
Yeah.
MJ is still just MJ. Michelle Jones Watson.
Just Jones. I don't use Watson. Not Mary Jane? No Broadway career for RMJ? I wanted Emma Stone to show up as Spider-Gwen. I really wanted that.
I know you said that, but
That would have been powerful. For her to show up and be like, oh, in my universe, I tried to save Peter and he died. And then Andrew Garfield would have to be like, what's her name? Gwen Stacy?
Gwen Stacy. Yeah.
Yeah, I just said that.
Yeah.
Gwen, you're alive?
You're alive? Yeah.
But then it would have been like, you weren't surprised that Jamie Foxx is alive? Like, that's weird too, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely thought they were going to pull the Harry Osborn out to stop Norman.
I liked how they did it.
I did
liked
too.
Everything about
I did
Willem
too, but
Dafoe's
he made that comment something about his son, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, they're gonna. When I realized he was gonna be the big bad, I was like, they're gonna pull Harry out. He's gonna walk out of nowhere and just be like, Dad, what are you doing?
He's gonna walk
It's
out
Peter.
and see. No, yeah, he's gonna say, Peter, what are you doing? He's gonna see Peter kill Norman Osborn again.
Oh, that would have been wild.
Yeah,
That would have been wild.
yeah. Aliens don't like rocks, okay?
What?
Hey, you know what aliens like? Aliens like human flesh.
What are you talking about?
That was Tom Hardy at the end.
Oh. It sounded a lot more like like Rocket. I mean, look, I haven't seen Let There Be Carnage, and I don't know what happens in the post-credit scene. That was the best Eddie Brock moment that we've gotten ever.
Do you want to know what happens in the post-credit scene? I also haven't seen it, but
Sure.
I've seen the post-credit scene. He cuts a TV. He like this room he's in flashes or whatever, and he cuts a TV on as J. Jonah Jameson.
Okay.
That's it.
Weird.
Yeah.
Because he clearly doesn't exist in... Weird.
He was in the. He was starting to Danny Rojas in the MCU.
Yeah, and then he went back.
Yeah. I think they're just like, hey, just so you know, we can pull this in anytime.
It's like a threat.
Yeah.
like a looming threat.
Yeah. I think Topher Grace should have had a cameo. Wouldn't that have been something?
No, I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad
That
they
is
didn't.
Venom, just like is in the background or something. Is an extra.
Bring in Elizabeth Banks and Octavia Spencer from Spider-Man 1 as Betty Brant and the person that checks Spider-Man into the wrestling match.
The Betty Brant storyline, I keep waiting for Tom to have some sort of relationship with that girl.
Well, now she doesn't know he exists.
Yep. Probably for the best.
Yeah.
What kind of implications is that going to have? Are we going to come into episode 6 of Hawkeye and be like, something's a little bit off here?
Yeah.
Something doesn't quite add up.
No, because Peter already
Where,
doesn't
like
exist.
Jeremy Renner's. What?
Peter already doesn't exist when Hawkeye starts.
Oh, really? Oh, you're right, because it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hawkeye can't just be like, I can't call I don't know. There's got to be something. I can't imagine.
I mean, it
Jeremy
is really
Renner and Tom
convenient for
Holland
why
looking
Hawkeye
at it.
doesn't just call Spider-Man the hero that lives in New York to help him
Right.
out with the tracksuits.
With the tracksuits and Spider-Man's villain.
I'm
Well, I
gonna
guess
laugh
it's
if
not
in
Spider-Man's
episode
villain.
6, Matt Murdock is just like, man, I had an appointment this day, but I don't know who it's with.
Oh man, when Daddy Matty showed up,
I was so mad.
I was so here for it. Charlie Cox.
I can't
Daddy.
believe it. I don't know what TikTok you watched about that I missed, but I
liked the Daredevil series.
Oh, I mean,
and then
I did
didn't
too.
think
Like, I don't have
about
any
it
problem
for,
with
like,
him being back. It's just the fact that you were right about it. Just nailed it. That you were like, yeah, he's going to be Spider-Man's lawyer because Spider-Man has to get himself out of the situation. I was like, there's no way. And then he shows up.
And you were like, well, he'll be rich.
That line might be one of the best lines of the whole movie when he grabs the brick. Tom's like, how did you do that? And he goes, I'm a very good lawyer.
Yeah. I think actually that might be something to it. There may be something to like Matt Murdock is blind. Daredevil is superhuman. He doesn't need to know Peter's identity, or he can just obviously hear that his client and Spider-Man have the same voice.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. It might be. Although he wouldn't be his client.
Whoa, that's not a bad theory.
But he wouldn't need a client because nobody knows that Peter is Spider-Man.
That's true, but like,
Or he wouldn't need a lawyer.
but he could meet Peter somehow and be like, "You're Spider-Man." Peter's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you sound just like Spider-Man.
Sound exactly.
You
the
sound
same.
exactly like Spider-Man."
Like it's not. This is not a plot hole. I think it was addressed well. Peter's like the only MCU character that's not unmasked. Like this move, like that being a big deal. When Tony takes the mask off at the end of Iron Man 1, which I think connecting Iron Man 1 to No Way Home with that plot point,
Yeah.
very good. That like the ending of Iron Man 1 is I am Iron Man. The beginning of No Way Home is Peter Parker as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But like when he comes out as Iron Man, at the beginning of Iron Man 2, he's going like to defense meetings that are televised, being like, I privatized world peace. I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm amazing.
Right.
Like it's not a big deal. I guess it comes back to bite him in the face in Iron Man 3 when Pepper almost dies. But then he's just like, no, Pepper's rescue. Pepper's got this cool
It comes back to bite him in Iron Man 2 when Justin Hammer is like, "I need to kill this guy.
Yeah.
I need to have him
And,
assassinated."
And the Whiplash dude.
Yeah. Waiting for
Yeah, but it's
I'm
not-
waiting for the retcon, the Boba Fett retcon on that one.
On what one?
On Whiplash.
What about Whiplash?
Just when he shows up at a TV show to make him cool.
Oh, yeah.
That
When
like,
they're
they
hey, we got this dude again.
they fixed most of the movies, right? Where like you need to go back and watch Avengers Age of Ultron and think it's the best movie and stuff like that. We're like,
Right.
They haven't come back around on Iron Man 2 yet.
It's a rough one, man.
It's a rough one. That's what I'm saying.
They
Is like
did-
I
they've
need
referenced-
Justin Hammer to show up.
They've referenced Justin Hammer a few times.
Yeah.
He shows up in Doctor Strange briefly. There's like it's one of the patients he could take was one of Justin Hammer's test subjects.
Yeah.
And then I think he showed up at another point. Tell me this. It was in What If. What If is where it happened.
Haven't seen it.
I know you haven't. I was thinking about there's a scene where they put Mark Ruffalo into Edward Norton's shoes. And it was What If. And I'm just not happy about it.
Well, we got to watch it now because there's the girl in Multiverse of Madness that has the Captain America jacket on
What?
in the trailer. There was a woman wearing the Captain America star.
Was it Peggy Carter?
I don't know. You only saw the back of her.
Oh. I did not frame by frame that trailer. at
That's
1:30
the
in
only
morning.
single detail I remember because I was sitting there thinking, I got to watch What If now.
I remember watching the trailer and being like, I should rewatch WandaVision. I loved that show.
I was watching the trailer like, wow, I got to stop watching trailers for the MCU because this looks like garbage.
Yeah, but so did this movie.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I got to stop basing literally anything off the trailers
Yeah.
because that movie looks like dog shit. And this movie looked like dog shit, and it wasn't.
You know what was really dog shit was the posters for this movie.
Well, they were just hiding so much, right? Like
They
there
were
was
hiding
no
two main
way to
characters.
advertise this movie. There was
Right.
no way to advertise this movie.
Oh, so good. No
J.K.
returning.
Simmons put in his best performance as J. Jonah Jameson in this movie.
Disagreed.
Oh no, absolutely.
Give me pictures of Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's still got it though. Like just see him still have it.
Yeah. I liked the little narrative that was going on where it was like J. Jonah Jameson is doing this in front of a green screen in his basement to he has a studio to he has trucks and news vans.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't just work, it works well.
Yeah. Yeah, he's Alex Jones or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. He's Tucker Carlson. I think
Tucker
Alex
Carlson
Jones
doesn't
is
yell
in his
like that.
basement. I know. Tucker Carlson would be like, let's consider Spider-Man.
Yeah, let's think about what Spider-Man's perspective is on this. Is he right or is he a menace? I don't know. Here's Rachel Maddow to tell you.
I don't think he would ever throw it to Rachel Maddow. I do think Rachel Maddow probably wouldn't be super team. Hannibal Buress being a conspiracy theorist, that was a blow to my John Watts trilogy. Because
No,
you know
it was
I love
great.
Hannibal Buress.
Yeah, but it was great. I mean, he's just like, we know what you did.
This movie gave a lot of credit to Jake Gyllenhaal and the Mysterio story. This is honestly, I mean, I guess it is literally part 3 of the same 3-film arc.
Yeah.
But it felt very much like a part 2 to...
Yeah, it's Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, right?
Right.
It's exactly like that, where the first one was great, the second one was all right and had absolutely nothing to do with the first one.
Right.
And then the third one has everything to do with the second one and is fantastic.
Yeah. So the fourth one is going to be really
The fourth
bad.
one is going to be absolutely terrible and have Penelope Cruz in it. They're going to get rid of Zendaya. They're going to get rid of Ned. And they're going to put Penelope Cruz in
Tom
it.
Holland is dating Penelope Cruz.
Tom Holland is dating Penelope Cruz. And then Tom Holland is going to get kicked out of his Harry Potter role for no reason.
Yes.
And they're going to replace him with Mads Mikkelsen.
Yes.
No, it's Tom Holland. Who's another? They're going to replace him with like Timothy Chalamet.
Hello.
Come here, baby girl. Come here. Give me a little kiss.
Hi, baby.
Yeah.
Hi again.
God, she has so much hair.
Yes.
Hi, Olivia.
Ouch. Can you say hi?
Hi, Olivia. God, what a bean.
Are you ready for a nap?
No, no. Hey, Mom. Hey, Mama.
She wants the puppy.
What a cute stir.
Bye, baby. I love you.
How's the other one doing?
He's asleep. But he's good. They were both sick yesterday, but all they had was a fever. No cough.
Weird.
No sneezing. No runny nose. Like literally just a fever. And so I had to work from home, which was fine. But it was like, I don't know what to do. Like I don't know how to. There's no symptoms I can treat. Other
I can't fix this. Yeah.
Right. Other than you have the chills.
Yeah. Here's a blankie. Here's Cocoa
And you
Melon.
don't even know how to communicate that, right?
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden the world is very cold.
Yeah. I know what you need because I've had a fever before.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't know why you're under blankets and shivering.
Here's a blankie. Here's JJ. Have fun.
Yeah.
Take a
Enjoy
nap.
Cocoa Melon.
Enjoy Cocoa Melon. You gonna go see Blippi the musical?
I didn't know that was happening. But I think what makes Blippi so great is that there are no like flashy cuts and it's not like
Oh no, it's like a
lit and
live
s-
show.
No, like like you have to like go and see it.
Like at the Civic Center.
Is
Like
the
they're doing
gonna be
Blippi the
there?
musical at the Civic Center.
Is the Blippi gonna be in it, or is it like somebody else plays Blippi?
Talia, I don't. Okay, you're assuming several things here. One, that I did any research on this past looking at the Civic Center marquee as I drove by this morning. Two, that I know in any way what Blippi is.
Blippi's a show, and it's
Okay,
like-
beyond that base level of it's on television.
Can I tell you a story about kids' TV that got me almost in trouble last night?
Sure.
I was at the movie theater and I sit down. I have seat I-12, okay? And the people next to me in I-11 and I-10 are a couple. They're like college students. And they like were not jazzed that somebody had the seat right next to them. They weren't like rude about it or anything, but they were definitely like, I wish we could sit with like a spacer between us and other people. But then like they started talking about stuff and they were like, we paid $30. Nobody checked our tickets. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know. Tell me about it. I actually bought tickets for 3 show times on accident because I didn't know they went through. And then we started talking a little bit. And the girl in the couple starts being like, starts talking about her daycare job. And she was like, isn't it crazy that we just like put kids in a room with an iPad and let them watch Peppa Pig. And I was like, oh my God, don't show them Peppa Pig. Have them watch Bluey. And they just get like dead quiet. Like they were like, what the fuck did we just say? What have we done? Did we offend somebody? And I was like, I'm just messing around. I have a toddler and she likes Bluey. It's like, it's fine. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't know anything about kids. And I was like, okay, cool. It was very awkward, man. It was very weird. Because like we would get like having a conversation and being normal, and then they would like make it weird. They'd be like, why are you talking to us? And it's like, because we're sitting right fucking next to each other. That's why I'm talking to you. Doesn't have to be weird.
It was weird enough that you sat right next to them.
I had a reserved seat.
Okay.
And
Move
there was a
down
group
one.
of people. No, I couldn't. There was 7 people to the end of the row next to me.
Did you buy a reserved seat next to somebody?
That was the only available seat.
Go to a different showing.
It was 10:30 at night.
It's COVID.
They had masks on. I did not. But
That's
I'm
probably why they
boosted,
thought you were weird.
Yeah, probably. They were probably like, why is this Republican sitting next to us?
talking about Bluey.
Yeah. Yeah. They should
And I
watch
thought you'd be
Bluey.
wanting to watch Reddy.
Yeah. Spider-Man wears red and blue, so just
That's
think
true.
about that. Mostly red.
Not that new suit.
That new suit's like spangled
Spangler. That new suit
Spangler.
is blue.
blue
Suit.
blue suit Spider-Man. I didn't quite understand. He had a black suit on at one point, and I was like, I don't know what this I don't know what this is.
It's a stealth suit.
When did he get that?
Far From Home. It's the Night Monkey.
No, the Night Monkey is like a sweater.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah. Let me pull
I
up the
don't
Night
think so. I don't think so. Pretty sure it's just Black Spider-Man.
No, I think you're wrong. It's got like goggles, like steampunk goggles to it.
Well, it's the...
He was not wearing this suit in that scene. Let me just share this with you right now, Ethan. SimCosplayMakeItSimple.com. Oh, it's just Sim Cosplay. That makes more sense.
So you just got a new black suit.
Yeah, but like they made a whole big thing out of like, oh, his suit's covered in paint. It's gonna be miserable to get the paint off. And then I did like the like.
But then
half-
May fixed it for him.
Yeah, May. Oh, we love May. The half Iron Spider, half Homecoming suit.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. Alfred Molina. Doc Ock being a good guy. Like a proper good guy.
Because Tom Holland fixed his nano chip.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how evil he was.
Yeah.
And oh man, how well he played that character. He's such a force on screen.
Oh my
know? I mean,
God.
he's so intimidating. I think if I was on set with that dude, I'd be like, I'm genuinely scared right now.
Except
I
he's
think
the
we're
world's
acting-
nicest person.
Yeah.
Like,
But
oh my
but
God.
man,
He's so
he
good
just-
at everything.
he delivers those lines so well. He just does it. Ugh. And then Willem Dafoe,
I mean,
forced
yeah.
to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Like,
There's 3 really good dudes played Spider-Man villains in this movie, and then the other 2.
yeah.
Yeah, they fixed Jamie Foxx's Electro for sure.
And he had the arc reactor, which I
Yeah.
was like, oh, and then when I thought there was a moment Alfred Molina was going to turn again where he was like, the power of the sun.
Sun in the palm of my hand.
I was like, oh, God.
Here you go.
Yeah. Oh, thank God.
Yeah. Yeah, when he shows back up and he's like, leave him to me. To Norman or to Electro, I was like, oh man, this is not good. And
This
then,
is bad.
and then he turns around and rips the arc reactor off of Electro's chest. And I was like, oh yes.
I just loved it so much.
I love how fast he went from like, I don't need to be fixed to like, oh wow, it's quiet in my head. This is so good. Such a good movie.
Tom controlling the nanobots.
Yeah, this was the best MCU movie in a long time.
just hasn't been. It's the most. Yeah, it's the best. I hesitate to forget how much I liked Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I mean, but that's not even on the same like level.
Right. But then you're talking about Endgame, right?
Yeah.
This is the best MCU movie since Endgame. And it's like,
No,
well,
this is the best MCU movie since before Endgame.
What would this?
This
have
is
been?
significantly better than Avengers Endgame. Significantly.
Oh, I don't agree there.
This is significantly better than Avengers Endgame. This will
What a-
age better.
Endgame is gonna age like fine wine.
No, it's not. It is already visually. It is already aged like fine milk.
But there will be a time where I can sit down with my kids and we'll get to Endgame after like a month of watching MCU movies every night, and it'll be like, oh, this.
And
is
they will feel
satisfying.
miserable about it. You will show them Avengers Endgame at the end. You'll show them Infinity War at the end of a month of watching Marvel movies, and they'll be like, "Dad, I don't want to do this anymore. Dad, this stopped being fun 5 movies ago. Can we please stop?" You're like, no. Okay, first of all, you gotta watch Captain Marvel. That's because I came in the middle. Sorry. And then you gotta
It's
watch.
gonna be like a weird tonal shift.
It's gonna be a weird tonal shift. Yeah, like we probably should have just done it first, but you got whatever.
Then you gotta watch Ant-Man and the Wasp,
You gotta watch him in the Wasp, and then you gotta watch,
Endgame, and then we're still not done.
and you gotta watch
Believe
Avengers
it or not.
Endgame.
Then you have to
and then
watch
and
Black
then
Widow.
that ending is gonna happen, and then you're gonna be like, actually, we have to watch one more Spider-Man movie. And it's not very good. And then we can just take a couple days off and like completely reset because boy, how do we have like 11 TV shows to watch.
Yeah, and we gotta watch Black Widow. And
You gotta
you
gotta put your hands together and be like, okay, kids, now we go off the rails. This is WandaVision.
Let me tell you, before we watch WandaVision, how would you feel about watching 8 seasons of watching Malcolm in the Middle?
How do you feel about Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Spellbound and
And I Love Lucy.
I Love Lucy and Malcolm in the Middle and Modern Family? Children, there's 15 seasons of Modern Family.
But it's good. You'll love it.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah, and then we'll
You'll get
watch
very
this one
tired of
episode-
everybody except for Ed O'Neill and Ty Burrell.
You'll watch this one episode of WandaVision and be like, "Oh, they did the." I get it.
Totally worth it for a 5-minute payoff. Kids,
Well, case of the Mondays. Am I right?
yeah. Kids, this is why your mother divorced me.
But you know what? Now I have more time to watch I Love Lucy.
Yeah. Once we get to Loki season 2, it really pays off. I promise.
You know what, kids? Actually, just watch whatever of this you want to watch. Pick up wherever. If you have questions, I can show you the source material. I've seen it all. Which I can't even say for Star Wars because I tried, man. But that Clone Wars show is unwatchable.
Mm-hmm. But Book of Boba Fett starts like Friday.
I know. We got to finish out Hawkeye, and then we're going straight into Book of Boba Fett, which I'm
Yep.
excited about.
Those episodes will come out at some point because Christmas.
Yes.
They will happen eventually. Anyway, we're talking about the MCU, the McCoo, as it were.
The Marvel Cinematic... The Marvel Skinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Hey.
We've got, I believe, like 4 movies coming in the first 6 months of 2022, and then I have no idea after that.
I don't know, man. I know they keep making stuff. People keep seeing set photos from shows, and it's getting harder to hide this stuff because they're filming everywhere all the time.
They're filming everywhere, and they have every actor in the world involved.
Right.
Right,
It's
like the fact that guys like Timothée Chalamet can find time to do Dune because they're not involved in the MCU is incredible.
Yeah.
But he'll get his time.
Oh, yeah. When they do another Spider-Man trilogy and they're like, we need a Harry Osborn.
We need a Harry Osborn.
And
Or a
Timothée
Spider-Man.
Chalamet's like, or a Spider-Man. Timothée Chalamet's been like, I've literally been waiting for this moment.
Kevin Feige's going to call him one day and he's going to be like, finally. I'm the only person not involved.
Except, if they put him in as like Timothée Chalamet as Cyclops, I'm like,
No, when they reboot X-Men for a third time, they'll have no choice but not to use him.
Do you think it'd be Cyclops or Gambit?
Timothée Chalamet?
Yeah.
I think he'd be, I think he'd be Cyclops. I forgot who Cyclops was, and I was like, it's gonna be the guy with the eye beams. That's Cyclops. Oh, it might be Nightcrawler.
Oh, Nightcrawler. No, Nightcrawler, I think, I don't know.
The problem is when they remake X-Men for a third time, they're gonna have a hard time finding somebody to be Mystique.
Yeah, I don't think Jennifer Lawrence liked it very much.
I don't think so. This is
Although,
Charlie D'Amelio.
This
Because
is
she's the only person left alive that will do it.
who was
This is
the
Kendall
girl?
Jenner as Mystique.
Addison Rae.
Addison Rae wouldn't do it.
Are you kidding? She'd be like, I made you Crocum Boosh, you Crocum douche.
No way.
And then she
No
turns
way.
into
She has way too
Thunderbolt
much.
Ross.
Way too much respect. Way too much respect. Yeah, X-Men, you got like, God, who's left? You got like Jeff Daniels playing Professor X.
Jeff Daniels is Professor X.
I mean, he's like one of the only. No,
Bryan Cranston.
no way. Bryan Cranston has to be a villain.
Yes.
He has to be a villain.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah. No.
He's
next
the
time they
dad in Malcolm in the Middle.
next time, yeah, but he's also Heisenberg.
I know, but I think he could make a great Professor X.
Next time they reboot X-Men, which I know they will, Charles
Obviously.
Xavier needs to be black. Let's be real here.
Mahershala Ali.
No, Mahershala Ali is Blade.
He can be both. That's what they do, right? They just like, we'll just put Mahershala Ali in every good role.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne isn't even Morpheus. He also
he
is
is.
already in the MCU as Goliath.
Was he?
He's in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, yeah, you're right. There's got so many of these movies. You got
65.
Kurt Russell and his child already knocked off.
Haley Steinfeld's already in it.
Yeah. Jeff Bridges
Charles
already been in
Xavier.
it.
Jeff Bridges has already been in the MCU.
He's Obadiah Stane.
Oh, Jeff Bridges. I'm sorry. I was thinking Jeff Daniels.
No.
I was like, what?
Jeff Bridges started the MC. He was the first villain.
Yeah. Oh, he's so good. Yeah, I mean, we've used every white actor, but there are plenty of black and people of color actors that we can pull from.
That's true. But they're going to have to replace every single person that's in Black Panther, apparently, one at a time.
Why do you say that?
Well, Chadwick Boseman died, and now Shuri, what's her name, is out.
She's like an anti-vaxxer. Right?
Yeah, she's an anti-vaxxer, COVID denier, and they were like,
Yeah.
nobody wanted to work with her. Just
God, that
at this
sucks.
point, cancel it, please, God. Just cancel it.
I think they're probably just going to keep making it.
I'm sure they are.
You know who's not in the MCU? Hayden Christensen.
That's true.
Thomas Hayden Church is, but not Hayden Christensen.
Who's Thomas Hayden Church in the MCU?
Sandman.
Oh, you're right. I didn't even recognize him. God.
He's the one we're talking about right now.
Brendan Fraser, not in the MCU yet.
No, he is in the DCEU, though.
Yeah.
Doom Patrol.
Jason Momoa, not in the MCU.
Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is Charles Xavier.
No.
Can you imagine putting Henry Cavill in a wheelchair?
Henry Cavill should have been Icarus.
That's what they were trying to do, right? They were like,
Yeah.
Henry Cavill, please, for the love of God,
He's
be
so
in our
busy.
movie.
He's so busy.
He's so busy. He's like, I toss a coin to your wheelchair.
He's like, you have no idea how long these winter shoots take.
Also, I'm playing Warhammer every night. I
I'm playing Warhammer every night.
I have the greatest Warhammer group ever. Basically, me, Jason Momoa, and that dude that played Flash Thompson in Spider-Man 2002. What's his name? What's that dude's name?
I don't remember.
Oh, yes, you do. It's like Joe DiMaggio, but it's not.
I can't even picture Flash right now from the original Spider-Man.
Joe Manganiello.
Ah, of course. And they got Jared Leto. They're wasting Jared Leto as Michael Morbius.
Disagreed. I think that looks very cool.
Yeah, but it's not MCU.
okay, but
it's
got,
Venomverse.
No, it's got Vulture in it, which makes it MCU. It's got Venom in it, which makes it Venomverse. It's got Spider-Man PS4 in it, which makes it Spider-Man. It's a multiverse breaking film.
Well, it comes out before Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, so we'll see. We'll see where it lines up. Good performance by old Benedict Cumberbatch here. I think he's finally got the hang of the role.
Yeah, he's finally he is somebody who, if I was acting with and he was playing an angry character, at the end of the scene I'd be like, "Hey man, did I piss you off?
I'm sorry." And he'd be like, "Oh no, of course not. My fault.
Just acting."
Just acting." Acting.
Wow, that's amazing. How do you do that, sir?
How do you do that?
Call me Steven.
Dr. Palmer.
Dr. Pa.
Where's my emergency stash of goose juice and moose juice? How much emotional eating have I been doing?
Is not in the Jim Carrey is not in the MCU. Christian Bale not in the MCU. Christian Bale is Charles Xavier.
I'll be real with you. Pattinson Batman looks awesome.
Looks very good.
Looks
Andy
awesome.
Serkis is Alfred. That's
Andy Serkis is
overdue.
Alfred. With the like 67 Impala Batmobile.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you know? I don't know if we've talked about this. Pattinson was like, "I'm just not going to get ripped to play Batman."
Yeah.
And they were like, "You have to," and he was like, "No, I don't." They made Taylor do that for Twilight, and he was miserable, and I refuse.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. And it ruined Taylor's career.
Yeah.
They were like, "It'll make your career." It ruined it.
Yeah. Pattinson at this point he can just do whatever he wants, right? He doesn't need
He's
anybody.
like, "Listen, I'm going to do what I want to do.
They're going
If you want me
to
to act-
they are going to keep casting me for these A24 movies. I promise you. I don't have to worry about anything
I can do The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe all day."
all day. We had a lot of fun.
And it was the coolest.
Yeah. I bet you when they shut the cameras off, those two were just like best buds.
I bet Willem is an insanely nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He talks about
Because if he was Mr. Crazy Method Actor, we would have heard it by now.
Right. Oh God, he's so
I
good.
guarantee
And-
you that he can just the camera goes off and he's just like, yeah, so anyway, what I was saying earlier before that take.
Right.
Look, they got me working on this Marvel movie again. Gotta be Norman Osborn in a hoodie.
And you know what I said? I said I'm not wearing the mask. Put my face on screen.
I said I'm breaking the mask the first time. Poor little Norman.
man.
He's so
John Watts, I really felt like was like, "Listen, Sam, I got you on the phone. You did an okay job of portraying this crazy. I'm gonna do it better. I'm just gonna tell you right now."
John Watts had this movie nailed to the wall because it doesn't feel like a Russo brothers movie, right? Like it still has style.
It feels like it feels like a Raimi movie. It feels like
Yeah.
like he did a very good job of emulating the director styles. I don't know who directed the Amazing Spider-Man series, but like emulating that while they're on screen. And like something I was really worried about was like, are they going to use the stylistic moves of each Spider-Man? And they did it very well, especially because I think the one with the most style was Amazing Spider-Man. I think that goes without say that like the way they did the action sequences was like amazing. And I thought John Watts did a really good job of paying homage to that. And like there was that fight scene with Electro where, you know, they slowed everything down and you can see the bolts moving and you can see, I just thought it was amazing. So good.
And it's clear that all of these dudes were just so happy, stoked to be back in the role, being part of the MCU.
I think if you're Tobey Maguire, you got to wake up every day since 2008 and be like, why is my Spider-Man not in this?
Right.
Or Andrew Garfield for that
Right.
matter. Like, why?
And that's the thing, is like all these people, Garfield, Maguire, Alfred Molina, Willem Dafoe, Jamie Foxx, they're all sitting there like, man, we put our hearts and souls in these movies. And now we got to watch Avengers Endgame make $3 billion, right? Like,
Right.
And now they get to be part of it.
None of this would have happened if it weren't for, especially Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That changed the way that we watch superhero movies.
Yeah. To the X-Men and to Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Absolutely. This movie did the nostalgia factor perfectly. It did fan service perfectly. I tried to go
and developed their characters further.
I tried to go back in with zero expectations, right? Like when our friend James was like, "You guys want to see the Rotten Tomato score?" I was like, literally no number would surprise me. 100 wouldn't surprise me. 0 wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
Like,
if this was like, oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's awful.
yeah, if every critic came out and was like, "This is the worst. This was a mistake. Disney, delete this one, start over," I would have been like, "Yeah, totally." And if they came out and they were like, "This is the single best movie that's ever been made in history," I'd be like, "Yeah, cool, got it." Like nothing would have surprised me.
Yeah.
I think honestly, the thing that would have surprised me most of it is it came down like a 50.
Yeah.
I figured it was going to be extreme one direction or the other. It was either going to be a 14 or a 99.
I will say, mentioning One Direction, there were no One Direction singers in this movie.
That's true. You have four former One Direction members that have not been cast in the MCU yet.
Which I think is something.
You have 5 NSYNC members, and I think 5 Backstreet Boys that haven't been cast in the MCU yet.
There's only like one of those 10 people who does acting gigs, though, right?
Timberlake?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Timberlake, yeah, he does a lot of stuff. He's like a proper
Well, Styles has been cast.
Styles. I was talking about NSYNC and Backstreet Boys.
Oh.
No,
You think of Lance Bass?
Lance Bass does those little cameos. and
Lance
stuff,
Bass
yeah.
would be in the MCU. I would
would be
take
like
Lance Bass in the MCU as Lance Bass.
Yeah, or he'd be doing cameos or something.
If
Yeah.
like J. Jonah Jameson was like, Lance Bass from NSYNC, what do you think about Spider-Man?
Lance Bass was like, I think Spider-Man's great.
I think Spider-Man's great. I'd like to give him a hug.
I would hug Lance Bass. If Lance Bass was like, I'm giving out hugs.
He
I'd be
looks like a spider and he crawls like a bug. Why can't we all just give him one big hug?
Bye, bye, bye.
The only thing that made me sad is there wasn't one of those like New York wasn't really a character in this movie.
Oh, I not as much as I would have liked, but I do think John Watts came into this and was like, Spider-Man doesn't, like, New York can be a character and it doesn't have to be Manhattan. And I like that he's committed to that through all.
No, for sure. But what I wanted was like a Spider-Man. It's either Spider-Man 1 or 2 where they have I think it's 2. They have like, if you want to get through him, you got to go through us moment. Like you mess with one in New York, you mess with all in New York.
That's in Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
This dude in a Mets hat. There's
Yeah.
a bottle at the Green Goblin.
I wanted a moment like that.
Yeah. Or like, Spider-Man and the boys go to a Mets game.
But like Spider-Man being a conspiracy theory, actually, I do love. It's just so like sign of the timesy.
Oh yeah.
And I hope that we can look on it. I hope that it ages well, right? That we look on it in 10 years and we're like, yeah, you remember that period in America's history?
Where there was a bunch of crazies.
Yeah. And not like, wow, it's still just like that. Where we
All
don't look
the
at it and go,
time.
wow, nothing has changed in 10 years, has it?
Yeah.
Trump 2032!
Oh God, no. No. No.
No, thank you.
No, let's talk scores. I don't know what else there is to say about this.
Yeah.
I mean, we will talk about it.
I don't think we asked for audience scores.
We're just going to assume that the Bacon and Eggs audience gives it a 95.
That's a bold assumption.
92? What do you think, Ethan?
I think you can't go over 90.
Okay. The
If you're not going to ask, I
audience-
think you can't go over 90. But that you should ask.
I will ask, and we can update it later on.
Update later on.
I'm going to go for a hundo. Ethan, a hundo. Rotten Tomatoes critic was a 94, right?
94 and 99
Metacritic
audience.
77. Listener, we said was a 90. And 99 audience score. If that ends up being the score, this gets a Bacon and Eggs score of 95.4. Which is a 95. Which I don't think is number one.
For this year?
Yeah, we had something that was really good.
Did we?
Let me pull it up. No, that is number one. It hits tiebreakers. Our number one is also a 94, but it's a 93.6 rounded up. And it was School of Rock.
Ah. Yes, of course.
Which is a little weird.
I mean, they're basically the same movie, right?
Yeah. So that's actually an interesting point. So John
Is
Watts
it?
wanted this movie to be like a 80s film, like a coming of age 80s film. So he had the cast watch all of the John Hughes films before coming to set on this one.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting. I don't feel like that came across at all.
Oh, disagreed. I feel like that is exactly what this movie feels like.
That it feels like a John Hughes movie?
Yeah. Feels very coming of age. Feels very grounded in the stories of especially Ned, MJ, and Peter, and their sort of development, their worries about going to college. And
That is true. He does. There's nothing more 80s movie than Peter Parker breaking the literal universe to get his friends into college.
No, there's nothing more Gen Z than Peter Parker breaking the literal universe rather than calling MIT.
I mean, that's true. That's true. If it was an 80s movie, they would have called MIT first.
Right.
And MIT would have been like, actually, we don't revisit applications for anybody. And then Michael J. Fox would have showed up and been like, we got to break the universe, guys.
Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. And so it's funny you mentioned Michael J. Fox. So when Tom Holland was in that interview talking about that, he said, we had to watch these 80s movies, but and who I was thinking of as I was playing this Peter Parker character and how I wanted to be remembered is the same as Marty McFly. I want to be this generation's Marty McFly.
I mean, I definitely vibe with that in the way that Tom Holland plays this role.
Yeah, I agree.
He went to the Marty McFly school of being a charming chucklefuck. That's for sure.
And of being absolutely wrecked by the Green Goblin, which I guess Marty McFly never had to do. Yeah. I lied. This is a 95.4, which makes it 1 point better than School of Rock. 95 overall.
Fair. Okay. But yeah, Marty McFly did not fight the Green Goblin, as far as I know, at all.
Yet. Listen, anything could happen. You want a DeLorean and Doc to show up in the MCU?
Michael J. Fox
Why
coming
not?
back to fight the Green Goblin as Marty McFly probably can't happen.
Probably will not happen.
They could get Eric Stoltz to do it.
Who's Eric Stoltz?
He's the guy that was supposed to be Marty McFly. They got fired.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
halfway
you're
into
right.
filming.
Yeah. And to like reshoot the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Biff Tannen, he would show up.
Probably. I don't know what that guy's doing.
He usually does cons as Biff Tannen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just check and make sure that guy hasn't already been in the MCU.
I don't think so.
Back to the Future is the name of those movies. Thomas F. Wilson. Thomas
Yes.
Wilson.
Tom Wilson. That sounds like the name of a very racist character.
He is in the Patrick Star show as Cecil Starr,
Oh, okay.
who appears
That's
to
the
be...
same.
Oh, he's Patrick's dad.
Ah.
Let's see. Just making sure that we don't have any... Nope. He's been in some DC stuff.
Voice actor?
Yeah. Nope. No MCU. Okay. Tom F. Wilson, the guy that plays Biff Tannen, still on the table for MCU.
Charles Xavier.
Probably not for Charles Xavier.
He's a big dude.
Get Christopher Lloyd to play Charles Xavier.
Come here, Peter Parker.
Okay, now, Peter. We gotta go in the Magneto machine.
Just bring back Willem Dafoe to play him. Just be like,
I mean, at this point, I think if they were going to include Doc and Marty, they would just include Rick and Morty instead.
yeah. Although those are both voiced by the same person, so that'd be a bit of a challenge.
That's true, but they
Although
would
there
just,
are-
they would just
there
be
are
animated,
live action-
right? Like,
No, there are live action versions of them.
Are there?
There's a universe in Rick and Morty that's live action, and they have actors that play them.
but yeah, just because of the multiverse thing, I feel like they would just show up like 2D animated, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I'm Big Ol' Rick. So now that you have a dog named Pickles, are you going to put a Pickle Rick sticker on the back of your Mazda?
No, for many reasons. One, I don't believe in bumper stickers. Two, no,
All right.
I don't really watch Rick and Morty.
Well, what else do you have to say, Ethan? I think it's about rap time.
It is about rap time. I would agree with that. I would agree with that rap. You got any final thoughts about Spider-Man?
I have a lot. but
Spider-Man?
I'm gonna cut my thoughts off.
Okay, fair enough. We'll be back tomorrow to talk about Hawkeye. Well, Monday, talk about Hawkeye episode 5. And Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk. Just glad I was right about that one.
You think Zaddy Maddie will be in the?
I think every time you call him Zaddy Matty, an angel loses its wings.
I think that's a fair trade.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Okay. Do I think he'll be in Hawkeye? Probably not. Maybe.
Charlie Cox, man. You know what I like about Charlie Cox is he's not a superstar. You know,
Yeah, he's just a
not
guy.
He's just a guy.
He could probably go outside pretty easily.
Yeah. Oh, well, maybe not anymore because he was in, that big Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, with like slick back hair and red sunglasses.
Yeah.
But like, I think that he could probably walk outside and people would be like, "Oh, hey, what's up? Weren't you that guy from that Netflix TV show?"
I like the idea of the MCU dealing with the fact that there is like a super Catholic character. Anyway, yeah, let's wrap the show up.
Cool. This has been an episode of Bacon and Eggs. Bacon and Eggs is a production of the WB&E Podcast Network. You can find this show and more great shows like it at WBNE.org or wherever you find your podcasts.
Like Unsobered with Julia Kendall, where she talks about badass women in history, which this movie did not have many women in it.
No,
I
it did
will
not.
be honest about that.
No,
And
it
they
did
were-
not.
The women that were in it were in distress. So that's, not great.
Not ideal.
But
But
if you want to listen to stories about amazing women in fiction and in history, you can listen to Unsobered by Julia Kendall. There's a preview for that show. Right, Shaw?
Hi, I'm Julia, the host of Unsobered, Badass Women of History and Literature, the podcast where I talk about the women that the history books, history classes, and the general public often overlook. or who just get a brief mention, but we never really know the whole story of their impact on the world we live in. On Unsobered, I share the stories and histories of these badass, amazing, and strong women. And while I tell you the history we don't get from traditional history classes, I get more and more drunk over the course of the episode. So join me to learn more about your favorite women, or to find a new favorite woman that you didn't even know contributed to one of your favorite things, with new episodes every other Friday.
In addition to that, our graphics are by Vaishon Brandon, Vaishon Designs on Instagram, and our music is by Andrew Scott Bell, andrewscottbellmusic.com. There's links for that in the description if you need to get great graphics for your podcast or for literally anything else, or music, any kind. You can contact Andy. He's the best, and I miss him. And I hope everybody's having just a wonderful weekend. Happy Spider-Man. Happy holidays. And I'm going to go play with my dog.
I am gonna, I don't know what.
Fair enough. On behalf of Tyler Carlin and the entire WB&E Podcast Network, my name's Ethan Edgehill. Arrivederci.
And with great power comes great responsibility.